Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers go to a care recipient's house to improve their living condition after the flood. Scholars point out that Taiwan may face labor shortage in the future as the elderly population increases. Welcome to that headlines. I'm Maggie Tai. Thank you for joining us. The rain season in Indonesia is coming to an end, but Jakarta is still suffering from flooding in the low-lying areas. Tzu Chi volunteers visited a care recipient and found that the wife was lying on the ground after the flood. Hence, about 30 volunteers went to help clean their house and brought a new bed for her.
Tzu Chi ini walaupun bukan family ya, tapi begitu care sama sesama manusia gitu ya.
Entering the house, and there lies a woman on the ground. Elizabeth's left feet was wrapped with bandage. Due to diabetes, her foot had developed cellulitis, and she had to amputate her right feet to save her life. Volunteers' motherly caress made her burst into tears.
Sebenarnya begini, ini kan anuh kita.
We visit her every month, and every time we found that their house is very dirty. Also, the house was flooded before, so we decided to come help her clean.
Rumahnya itu berantakan sekali. Jadi ini bebenah rumah untuk kedua kali ini.
We are grateful for the bed Tzu Chi volunteers delivered, especially after the houses was flooded. Now she no longer needs to lie on the ground, and we don't need to worry about the next flood now.
Volunteers moved Elizabeth to the backyard to cut her nails and hairs. Volunteers also wrapped her feet with plastic bags to live from getting wet before giving her a bath.
Harapannya semoga ibunya lebih.
We hope that Elizabeth can recover soon and her husband can learn to keep the house clean. Hopefully everything will be better soon.
Merawatlah rumahnya yang udah kita bersihin, dia melihat tergerak hatinya, jangan sampai begini lagi gitu.
Volunteers brought the waterproof pallets to prevent secondary flooding problems and also made sure their house was tidy. They hope that the couple can soon get their life back on track again. After a Danish storm devastated United Kingdom, Tzu Chi volunteers have been assessing damages in central regions. In Powik, Tzu Chi volunteers have reached out to a woman whose husband is hospitalized to help her clean up her house.
这间屋子刚淹水的时候淹了大概有150公分高，所以整个屋子是泡在泥水中的。
When Tzu Chi UK Foundation visited Ellie's house, we can see from her eyes and the face that she really feels hopeless after this flood. Hence, we straight away promised her that we will come today to help her to clean up the house.
The flood-affected resident Eli, whose husband is hospitalized and whose daughters are staying with relatives, could not clean up the house after the flood. Tzu Chi volunteers have brought her financial aid.
I really appreciate everything you're doing for all of us.
Eli's father has helped move some of the furniture outside, waiting to be removed. 5 Tzu Chi volunteers are cleaning the place thoroughly with their own supplies. One senior volunteer helped Tzu Chi contact the city town office to care for affected residents. Another young volunteer uses sponge and brush interchangeably. The volunteers who charge water carry water repeatedly instead of turning on the faucet.
你看这个地上是肮脏，你这是第几遍了？
这个我觉得我抹了4、5次了，还是这样子啊。
I think I've wiped the floor for 4 to 5 times, but it still looks dirty. I originally thought I would not spend that much time washing the restroom and kitchen, but we have spent about 4 hours and we are still not done.
Documenting volunteer Wang Suzhen has asked other volunteers to help with videotaping so she can help with the cleanup. The volunteers are concerned about Eli's family as they work without complaints.
我们是真的是Tzu Chi真的是来
Tzu Chi volunteers came and helped her clean up this house so he can have more confidence.
给他一个信心。
安家到时候出院回来之后，
When Ellie's husband is discharged from the hospital, he won't have that much work to do. At least he can see a cleaner environment, which is helpful for his recovery.
那对病情的恢复也很有帮助。
10 years ago, a massive earthquake took place in Chile. Tzu Chi volunteers from 7 nations, including Taiwan, went to conduct disaster reliefs and motivated local entrepreneurs to start the Chile office. Now in 2020, Chile volunteers hosted an event to appreciate the good connections. Back in January 2019, Fernando's life was in danger and his parents were scared they were going to lose him. Chile Tzu Chi volunteers show up in their life to save the situation with love. In February 2020, 13-year-old Fernando and his family performed a traditional dance to give thanks. This is Tzu Chi's 10th anniversary in Chile event, and many social group representatives were invited to attend. Volunteers performed sign language songs one after another to show appreciation to the good connections. This connection started from a massive earthquake in 2010 when Tzu Chi volunteers from 7 nations brought blessings from across the world and 8 items into Chile. Since then, the great love has spread and planted deep roots here in the land. In non-Thailand, residents of the first village told the volunteers that the river they were drinking from had been contaminated by chemical fertilizer, so they had to purchase mineral water, but it had become a heavy burden. Therefore, Tzu Chi donated a water purifier so the villages could have drinkable water.
Drinking clean water was once a dream, but now the dream has come true.
ถือจี้ไต้หวันที่ท่านได้มองความสำคัญกับชุมชน
I want to thank Tzu Chi for taking our problem into account and gave us the water purifier and also happiness so we can have clean water to drink.
The villagers get their first cup of clean water and say Jin's aphorisms to bless themselves.
คำที่ 1เราจะคิดดีพูดเลยครับเราจะคิดดีเชิญครับคำที่ 1คำที่ 2เราจะพูดดีเราจะพูดดีเชิญครับคำที่ 3เราจะทำแต่ความดี
We are truly fortunate to have Tzu Chi to care for us and help us, so we can have clean water. Our livelihoods will become safer and won't be affected by polluted water.
Tzu Chi Thailand chapter also brings clean, purified water to elderly people's homes.
U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers and Tima went to Bakersfield to host free clinics for farmers' families. To prevent the virus spread, volunteers made sure all the disinfect procedures were completed and promoted the correct antivirus methods. Tzu Chi Free Clinic team took off in the dark for their 2-hour ride. Before they take off, everyone made sure their body temperature and disinfect their hands to prevent the virus.
In between, for 15 to 20 seconds. Yeah.
The school cafeteria was turned into a mobile clinic with all the equipment in place. Every patient needs to measure their body temperature first before entering the room. Volunteers also use Spanish to promote antivirus methods. The nurse Kulu participates in the Tzu Chi Free Clinic for the very first time.
I'm very happy to be here. When also we joined together for the prayer, I felt like something really touched my heart, how the patients were joining us as well.
This brother and sister team guided the clinic route as well as helping to translate.
Hope that you're eating.
Facing the COVID-19 virus, volunteers used the WHO's food plate concept to promote vegetarian diets.
Well, I do eat a variety of vegetables and legumes and fruits, and so I'm trying to stay healthy, try to stay in the gym. I'm trying to just stay healthy in general overall in my life.
Eating a vegetarian diet is an important part of preventive medicine. Volunteers encourage everyone to adopt a new way of living and a healthier lifestyle. According to the statistics from the Ministry of Interior, Taiwan's 65-year-old is estimated to exceed 20% of the population in 2026, entering a super-aged society. However, Taiwan's middle-aged and elderly labor participation rates are significantly lower than those of Japan, South Korea, and the United States. Scholars point out that in the future, Taiwan may face a dilemma of labor shortage, which is not conducive to social and economic development.
Work is taking place on the roof of this 8-story building in Daja District, Taipei. 55-year-old Yuan Guangwu, who worked late yesterday, rushed over early in the morning to deal with this waterproofing project. He cherishes every job right now.
It's hard to find a job after the age of 40. Every company tells you to go home and wait for them to contact you. As soon as you go to an interview, they say there's no shortage of staff.
Fortunately, Yuan Guangwu was able to find a job at the age of 55. According to a survey by the Ministry of Labor, the labor force participation rate of 55 to 59-year-olds in Taiwan is 55.6%. That of 60 to 64-year-olds is 36.7%. And that of those over 65 is 8.4%. Looking at the international definition of middle-aged and senior-aged people is 55 and 65 years old, Taiwan's labor participation is significantly lower than Japan, South Korea, and the United States.
Many laborers are baby boomers who want to retire in large numbers. There are almost 3 or 4 million people in this group, and with the fertility rate very low at 1.2%, this could be a problem to society as a whole, as change is inevitable and we won't have enough workers to support society in the future.
Wu Sungling worked at Formosa Plastics when he was young and later started his own business. After the business was closed, he had to return to the workplace.
I have to pay some loans and utility payments. We can't live without working. This will be a burden on my family. Although it takes more than $30 to put 3 meals on the table, we can still survive.
Wu Sungling, 63, and Yuan Guangwu, 55, epitomize the situation of many middle-aged and elderly people in Taiwan. They're hardworking and experienced, but why aren't they favored for their skill by the average business owner?
Why should a company hire staff full-time to come to work? They may have an accident and fall.
The company is seeking profit and they want to calculate their return on investment. For 60-year-old employees, they can only use for 5 years. If someone is 30 years old, they can use them for 35 years.
However, the improvement of medical quality in Taiwan and the employment of healthy middle-aged and elderly people have indeed helped improve the workforce. In July 2019, the Legislative Yuan passed the third reading of the Act for the Employment Promotion for the senior or mid-aged persons and elders. This means that the competent authority may subsidize labor. In addition, companies are more open to hire workers over the age of 65 on a fixed-term contract. These two articles seem to be at odds with each other.
At least they have a job offer and they don't need to pay anything else like retirement funds. This is the core concept.
The contract is likely to be 3 months or most likely half a year. In some cases, just 1 month. This employment is unstable, and for these people, it can lead to a financial pressure.
Although there is still room for improvement in the draft law, all sectors of society clearly define and prohibit age discrimination. Violators are punished with a maximum penalty of $45,000, and the burden of proof on employers has increased. Scholars point out that the United States and Japan are directing enterprises to promote middle-aged and senior citizens through direct intervention.
The U.S. criteria for judging age discrimination is result-oriented. For example, you now have 100 people applying and 1/3 are elderly. So 1/3 that you hire have to be middle-aged. I don't care what reason you give. This is a requirement. The Japanese government have some positions in government departments that are reserved for middle-aged or senior citizens.
The progress of a country comes from whether we can treat vulnerable groups equally. They also have the right to work. They also have the right to participate in society and have economic freedom and independence.
The government and enterprises should help more middle-aged and elderly people enter the labor market, which may be useful to society as a whole, as these seniors can contribute their expertise to society. This is a topic that Taiwan needs to continue to pursue and build upon to create a truly modern society.
Fujian Tzu Chi volunteers host a blood donation campaign every February and August. This year, due to the epidemic, the blood storage was short. However, many people still come to donate their blood despite the threatening virus. To prevent the virus, the staff look extra cautious at the Tzu Chi blood donation event at Fuzhou.
In the past, we got many people lining up here, but now you can see that we have left spaces between the filing, examination, testing, and blood donation sessions.
These people who are confirmed to have no traveling history to the epidemic areas came to donate blood for the insufficient storage.
I saw on the news that some people have come to donate blood a few days ago, so it has strengthened my confidence to come donate blood.
The epidemic can't stop our compassion and Tzu Chi's great love.
A college student who often joins Tzu Chi activities also invited her parents to come.
I had a biology class recently and it has taught me about blood, so I'm very interested in donating blood.
之前就没有想过献血吗？有，但是没有那个勇气。那今天怎么会有这个勇气了呢？我觉得女儿都可以了，我干嘛不行啊？
Though the COVID-19 virus is still threatening, but it can't stop people from donating blood. In China, to contribute to the epidemic prevention measures, Tzu Chi volunteers have stood as loyal supporters. Those in Shenyang, besides making meals for quarantined medical staff, also takes turn to stand guard at the community entrance to help alleviate the shortage of security personnel, as there are extra precautions for those entering and exiting each community.
谢谢。因为现在社区呢，他们每天呢是24小时值班，真的是工作压力特别大，身心疲惫。那也希望我们志工呢能够协助他们。
During 6 below 0 degrees Celsius in Shenyang, most people do not willingly stand outside for more than a minute. But there is a group of Tzu Chi volunteers who are doing just that, only if to share the burden of the community security guard's job.
Your assistance doesn't only help increase the strength, but it's a warm welcome to our currently stressed situation. We have all been giving up doing things for ourselves for the greater good of the community. We're so glad you are here to help these residents. I'm so grateful.
While guarding at their posts, the volunteers also make an effort to promote vegetarianism. Early spring in northeast China means the sun sets before 6 p.m. Thus, they stand by the street light for some warmth as well as keep guard at their post.
Those medical angels who go to Wuhan to help our country are really on the front lines. We can only stand back and be supportive to our community.
During the epidemic prevention time, Shenyang volunteers are also providing meals for the medical staff. Starting from February 26, a group of kitchen volunteers begin at the crack of dawn to ensure they are fed well. On this day after their usual meal delivery, the volunteers also brought a care package in hopes the medical staff can strengthen their immune system.
Besides breakfast, we hope the medical staff can have something more nutritious to increase their immunity. This is why we brought a small care package today. This is made by Tzu Chi, and it's grain powder to help increase immunity. It's good because it's organic. We hope those who are staying here can stay healthy during this time.
Inside the care package, there is also a pair of reusable chopsticks. as volunteers hope to not only safeguard the health of the medical staff, but also the health of the planet.
In China, Nanning City's epidemic alert has dropped from 1 to 3, but most hospitals are still very careful about checking up on suspected patients. To help them, Tzu Chi volunteers have delivered epidemic prevention supplies to several hospitals.
In front of the cargo station, Nanning City volunteers organized the epidemic prevention supplies before loading them onto volunteers' cars. Since the epidemic outbreak, this is the 4th time city volunteers are delivering supplies.
My daughter knows the director of the Guangxi Sanitation and Health Committee. She helps us connect with the hospitals so Tzu Chi volunteers are able to deliver the supplies to the hospitals with ease.
Nanning 4th People's Hospital treats patients with infectious diseases. This time, the seriously ill patients are being treated here, and the hospital needs a lot of epidemic prevention supplies.
我们几次来中午送物资，不知道这些物资能不能帮上你们的忙哦？
肯定帮得上忙，都帮上大忙。当时我有几次啊，你知道那时候没有手套，就是没有隔离衣的时候，好难那时候。
对，20件，等一下你去。
The epidemic alert level in Nanning has been dropped from 1 to 3. Nevertheless, most hospitals are still on alert.
新冠肺炎疑似的那个
We are in charge of treating COVID-19 patients who are pregnant. If there are suspected patients who are pregnant, we might need to conduct examinations. In addition, residents in many places have resumed working, so there are lots of checkups to do.
To fight the epidemic, volunteers are working with the medical professionals, hoping that the epidemic will end soon.
Tzu Chi Foundation donated 2,000 care packages to the Taoyuan city government in Taiwan. Every bag included instant rice, multigrain powder, health supplements, and aphorisms, hoping to give their well wishes and care to the people who are quarantined at home.
Tzu Chi volunteers also check on how things are put in the bags. Many volunteers were mobilized that they prepare 2,000 care packages in just one day.
We must place them orderly and neatly because there are 2,000.
首先由慈济基金会执行长捐赠防疫安心祝福包。
All these packages are donated to the Taoyuan city government. Tzu Chi brings supplies and blessings to the people who are quarantined.
I'm glad to represent the master to care about the people who are quarantined.
We'll give these 2,000 packages to the 800 people who are quarantined in the city. We hope that they can all feel Tzu Chi's great love.
In addition to multigrain powder and instant rice, there are also health supplements donated by a Tzu Chi volunteer.
The health supplement includes cone flowers, and in a European medical journal, they said that cone flowers can improve people's trachea function.
Every package comes with wishes that people who are quarantined will remain healthy and have peace of mind.
Tzu Chi One Education Center in California does daily disinfections and promotes vegetarianism to fight the COVID-19 virus. Take a look and see you next time.